Hey, what's up, fan of the Mythunary project? This is an update video on why I'm going to be taking an extended hiatus from this project and from game development in general. So, I started this YouTube in February 20 of last year, which was about when I started the company. I took out about $10,000 in debt on credit cards to push this project. I did a lot of social media work to actually build up what this project is supposed to be. I'm pretty proud of what the company is supposed to achieve, and I actually have a few people that agree with what it's supposed to be doing. And I'm trying to find the the descriptions for the company, but it's everything that, the whole plan of the company was all of this egalitarian notion. It was success driven, it wasn't bigotry, it had honest pay rates, it was committed to great games, it allowed remote work, which opened it up to different ethnicities, different backgrounds, different countries, so on and so forth. And unfortunately, this was about the only support I could get was the 61 followers on this. So despite all of the fundraising attempts I made, despite all of the grinding I did on the social media, I have no followers on basically any of this, just the LinkedIn. And in all that time, I've managed to gain about 15 subscribers and get about 14 public watch hours. There's a good chunk of these subscribers that are actually people I hired on Upwork who decided to subscribe of their own volition. I did not make them subscribe. But for all the effort I've done on these videos, and some of these videos were pretty crazy, like 3 hours straight of really tough development over and over again. There were videos where I was not just building stuff for the game, and it's using code and math and the Unity engine and all this hard stuff, difficult stuff. I was making progress, but every moment of doing this sucked basically. It inside of my heart it hurt. It was no fun. It wasn't any fun. It felt good thinking about the future, but the actual day to day was not any fun to do. And I even had these videos where I was doing these training videos for how to actually use different parts of Unity engine. And I got a little bit of traction with those, but not too much. I guess they were actually wound up being kind of most of the setup, but it was the same thing. These videos hurt. It hurt to make them. It was a grind. I did this all by myself. I used Inkscape to make these graphics. I did all the photo work. I did all of this different stuff with a visual scripting graph and input system, toolkit, so on and so forth. I did all this stuff, and I even did a bunch of work that I lost because my Hack and Plan account got deactivated. But I went through the whole process of designing for the company how the teams were going to work and function, and I ground that all out. So I also studied Hack and Plan. I also did a bunch of work on, which was stuff I linked on Mythunary with I'm not actually managing to find them here, but people who are familiar with it, the pitch deck and everything. I'm not sure if it's here or not, but let me see if I can find it. I did this pitch deck for the company in an attempt to gather some funding. 0 offers. I did all these I did this 30-page document for a business plan detailing all of the details. I did this all by myself. I wrote this whole document on how the company was going to approach the process. No support from that. I did an executive summary, once again, no support from that. And that took about a solid month of the process. And once again, I spent money on people on Upwork, and I'm in debt now because of it. But despite all of this effort I've put into it, I have about 61 followers on Mythunary, LinkedIn, and that is about it. All the other social media stuff didn't pan out. All of the crowdfunding attempts I made, it didn't pan out. My Patreon, as you can see, no followers at all. Nothing. So despite the effort I put in to polish this Patreon, which included things like actually, let me see if I can find it here. I actually made the arts for these thumbnails and stuff. And, you know, none of this has paid off at all. I barely have gotten any traction, and the little traction I got was like a few of these subscribers. Maybe there's 5 to 10 of you who are legitimate from the outside, not internal to the company to a certain extent. And it's just very disappointing because I assumed that this mission was going to matter to a lot more people than that. I assumed it was going to be, it's something relevant to our time where we are dealing with this issue of bigotry, shutting down our ability to embrace a greater core of our humanity. But alas, I have found absolutely no support with this. Even less, I'm now in debt for it. And so it goes. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because after this 10 or 11 months of grinding on doing all of this work to get to about this point of 14 public watch hours and 15 subscribers, I've spent the last week doing tarot videos on YouTube, and I've managed to get 14 subscribers and 22 public watch hours. And 582 views from 1 week. And these videos are they're not that hard to make these. The amount of effort it takes to put into these videos is negligible compared to game development. And I'm sorry that this is what I have to do with myself. I'm sorry that I have to put this other project down for now, but for my own sanity, for my own sake, I'm going to be following this path of least resistance. And I'm going to continue working on this momentum I've built up in such a short amount of time. And doing these videos doesn't feel like such a grind. I'm actually passionate about doing these. When I sit down to do these, for the most part, besides for anxiety about how people will criticize me, all the energy is flowing. So, it is disappointing that, if I go to my homepage, I've spent years and years and years trying to get work in the games industry. I've got multiple portfolio pages, multiple game projects, multiple GitHubs, multiple projects. I completed I'm even multi-talented in terms of web development and game development. I completed Launch Code, which was a 6-month web training program. I have gained tons of skills in the Unity engine. I have everything from scripting to shading graph, visual scripting, normal coding. I've done all this video work on my own. Using OBS, I learned to do that on my own. Doing Inkscape, I learned to do that on my own. And to learn all this stuff, I did in fact go to college. I went to college to, the point of going to college was to get a job doing this. And despite the fact that I've been doing this for 8 years now, I have literally nothing to show for it. 80 plus bounce resumes, no support, I'm in debt, my skills go unseen, my talents are unutilized, and even when I tried to bust out and do it myself, and do all this work and all this effort I've put in, I have literally nothing. I have literally less than nothing. And it's just very interesting how 8 years of this struggling is being surmounted by 1 week of effort. So, I do apologize if you wanted to see these games created. I still want to make these games, and it means something to me to make these games. And the idea of the company, Mythunary, to actually accomplish these things still matters to me. But I'm going to be trying something different for now. And until I can secure the funding required to actually be able to approach doing this work without feeling like absolute ass doing it, I am going to be doing something else for now. So I just wanted to let you know that's why I am going on hiatus for Mythunary at the moment. And I'm sorry if you were a fan. I'm sorry if you liked the potential in the game, but I couldn't find the support I needed to make this happen. And I'm going to be following that support where I can find it. So I appreciate the support that you have given through your subscription. And I hope to one day return back to this project because I still think it's important. And I still love games. Still love video games, and I still have ideas for great games, but talking about cards just happens to be easier than being an entire game developer, designer, artist, sound person, marketer, possibly like multiplayer animator, like the whole shebang. I'm tired of all that for now, so I'm trying something else. So thank you for the support that you have given, and I'm sorry that I could not make this work. So I've really got nothing else to say. I just wanted to clarify that fact. I didn't want to leave people hanging as to why I have stopped uploading videos, so I appreciate it. Take care and good luck.